Football, the beautiful game, a sport that transcends borders, cultures, and generations. But how did a simple game evolve into the global phenomenon we know today? Let's take a journey through time, where this beloved sport began in muddy fields and backstreets, and became the heartbeat of billions around the world. The origins of football. Football, as we know it, started long before stadiums filled with roaring crowds and millions watching from around the globe. It began on humble streets, with kids kicking anything resembling a ball. But the origins date back even further. Ancient civilizations had their own forms of ball games. The Greeks, the Romans, the Chinese, all had something that laid the groundwork for what we now call football. In ancient China, they played a game called kuju, where the aim was to kick a ball through a net. The Romans had harpastum, a physical game similar to rugby. But it wasn't until the 19th century in England that football as we know it began to take shape. The birth of modern football. Fast forward to the 1800s, where the chaos of various ball games, with each region having its own rules, led to the birth of modern football. In 1863, the Football Association was established in England, formalizing a standard set of rules. Thus, association football, or soccer as it's called in some parts of the world, was born. The first ever official match? A quiet affair, just 12 men playing on a cold day in 1863. But it was the start of something much bigger. The game soon spread across Europe, then to South America, and before long, football fever had taken over the world. Iconic matches that changed the game. Football's history is etched in unforgettable moments, legendary teams, and dramatic matches. One such moment took place in 1953, the match of the century. England, the so-called inventors of football, faced Hungary, and what unfolded shocked the world. Hungary demolished England 6-3, proving that the game had become truly global. It was a wake-up call. England was no longer the dominant force in football. Next, the 1958 World Cup brought to light a name that would forever be synonymous with football greatness: Pelé. At just 17 years old, Pelé's dazzling skills led Brazil to their first World Cup victory, and he cemented himself as one of football's all-time legends. His brilliance on the field didn't just change the way the game was played. It inspired millions of children across the globe to pick up a ball and dream. The rise of global football superpowers. The 1970 World Cup final. The stage is set for one of the greatest football matches in history: Brazil versus Italy. Brazil's Samba football, led by Pelé, was the epitome of skill, flair, and joy. With a 4-1 victory, Brazil claimed their third World Cup title, solidifying their dominance in world football. On the European front, clubs like Real Madrid, AC Milan, and Liverpool were shaping football at the club level, winning European titles and establishing themselves as the elite. Real Madrid, in particular, became synonymous with European success, winning the first 5 European Cups in a row from 1956 to 1960. Their dominance laid the foundation for club football's prestige. Football's golden age and legendary players. The 1980s and 90s ushered in a golden age for football. This era gave us Diego Maradona's Hand of God and Goal of the Century in the 1986 World Cup, forever immortalizing him as both a hero and a villain in the same match. His brilliance on the ball and ability to single-handedly change a game defined an era. And in the 1990s, another star would rise: Zinedine Zidane. His performance in the 1998 World Cup final, scoring twice with his head to lead France to their first-ever World Cup win, was a masterclass in footballing genius. The globalization of football. As the 21st century dawned, football was no longer just a European or South American affair. The game had truly become global. Nations like Japan, South Korea, and the USA started making waves on the world stage. Meanwhile, club football reached new heights with the formation of the UEFA Champions League, creating some of the most exciting matchups in the history of the sport. In one of the most dramatic finals ever, Liverpool came back from 3-0 down at halftime to beat AC Milan on penalties, a moment that will forever live in football folklore. Modern football, the age of megastars and global icons. Today, Football is driven by global superstars like Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. Their careers have redefined what it means to be a football legend, breaking records year after year. Messi, with his magical left foot, is often seen as the greatest playmaker the world has ever seen. Ronaldo, a physical specimen with unparalleled goal-scoring ability, has dominated Europe like no other. Football's future. Football continues to evolve. New stars emerge and old legends retire, but the game's essence, its ability to unite people, inspire dreams, and stir emotions, remains the same. The future of football looks bright. With advancements in technology, training, and global reach, the game will only continue to grow. As long as there are young dreamers, kicking a ball on a street, on a field, or in a stadium, football will live on. From its humble beginnings in ancient civilizations to the bright lights of global stadiums, football's journey is far from over. It's not just a game, it's a way of life, and the next great moment, it could happen at any time. This is the beautiful game.